Most adult children don't suddenly realize their aging parent needs more help. It usually happens slowly. Small moments, small changes, things that feel easy to explain away. And before long, you find yourself wondering, is this normal aging or is this something changing? Today, I want to walk through the signs that extra support may be needed and how to notice them without panic, guilt, or feeling like you're taking independence away. Hi, I'm Stacy, and welcome to the Aging Parent Guide. I work in healthcare, and I've also spent many years helping my own family navigate aging, illness, and major life transitions. One thing I've learned, both personally and professionally, is that this realization rarely comes all at once. It unfolds gradually, and because it's gradual, it can be incredibly hard to recognize when help is actually needed. I experienced this firsthand while helping care for my great aunt Precious. At first, nothing felt dramatic. My dad and I just started helping by taking her grocery shopping because we didn't feel comfortable with her driving anymore. That felt small, reasonable, temporary. But looking back, that was the beginning of us noticing a pattern. One of the hardest parts of caregiving is that aging naturally includes change. People move more slowly. They forget small things. They need more rest. So the question becomes, when does normal aging become a safety concern? And the answer usually isn't one event. It's patterns. Physical changes are often the first signs families notice. You might see more unsteadiness, difficulty getting up from chairs, unexplained bruises, increased fatigue, weight loss, or changes in appearance. With my Aunt Precious, we began noticing something subtle. Her clothes were often dirty. At first, it was easy to assume she just had a busy week. But over time, we realized she wasn't bathing regularly anymore. That shift told us daily routines were becoming harder for her. These moments rarely feel dramatic when they happen. They just feel different. Memory changes can be especially confusing because everyone forgets things sometimes. What matters is whether forgetfulness starts affecting daily life. Signs might include missed medications, confusion about time or dates, repeating questions frequently, difficulty managing appointments. For Precious, we noticed changes through everyday situations. When we visited, her house would be extremely hot, sometimes set to 80 degrees. She didn't seem aware that it was uncomfortable. That wasn't just preference anymore. It suggested she was having difficulty managing her environment. Sometimes the home itself tells the story. You might notice unopened mail, spoiled food, clutter changes, unpaid bills, hygiene or housekeeping struggles. In our case, my dad eventually started helping with her mail and realized she hadn't been paying her bills. That was a major turning point. He stepped in to help manage her finances because it was no longer safe for her to do alone. And again, none of these things happened overnight. One of the biggest indicators that more support may be needed is difficulty managing medications or safety tasks. You might see missed doses, confusion about prescriptions, unsafe cooking habits, increased hospital visits. When we took Precious grocery shopping, we quietly started putting back foods that required cooking. We didn't fully trust her to use her oven safely anymore. That was a moment where our actions changed before we fully admitted why. Sometimes families adjust quietly long before they say the words out loud. The key thing to understand is this: one sign doesn't mean someone needs major support, but multiple signs forming a pattern often do. For Precious, the turning point came when we realized she wasn't taking her medications consistently. At that point, safety, not independence, had to guide the decision. We found out she had dementia and had to move her into a memory care facility. Her situation was more advanced than many families will experience. But the progression, noticing small changes over time, is something many caregivers recognize. If you're beginning to notice similar patterns, here are gentle first steps that you can start with. Start writing down observations over time. Talk with a healthcare provider. Consider a home safety or occupational therapy evaluation. Introduce small supports first, not major changes. Include your parent in conversations whenever possible. Support doesn't have to begin with big decisions. Often it starts with small adjustments. This stage can bring complicated emotions. You might feel worry, grief, frustration, or even guilt for noticing changes. That's normal. Recognizing that someone needs support is not a betrayal of their independence. In many cases, thoughtful support actually protects dignity and quality of life. If you're starting to see these signs in your own family, you're not alone in that realization. In the next video, we'll talk about what happens when an aging parent resists help and how to approach those conversations with care. If this video helped you feel a little more oriented, you're always welcome here, and you're welcome to subscribe. And if you feel comfortable, you can share what you've been noticing in the comments. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next video.